Sims from the Sauce Crew, and we are here at the St. Peter's Regional in Missouri. What is your name and what'd you play?
My name is Jason, and I played Subterra. I got second place. And here's the deck profile.
Okay.
So first of all, I start with 3 Guru. It's the searcher and does everything you want for the deck. You mostly want to keep him alive. But yeah, he's probably the best. And the second best comes next is 3 Venus. She's, if no one knows, she's like an Omni-Negate hand trap.
As long as you control a face-up Subterra?
Yeah, and then you book a moon it after negation. You can either use it in the hand or face up in the field, and then send it to the graveyard. Really good. Next is one Archer. Archer is really good. Especially, it's really good in grind games and long games whenever you want to lock out your opponent. What you end up doing is you book a Moon Guru, you book a Moon their normal summon or whatever, their key card, and then you use Archer to bounce it back without like triggering its effect from graveyard or anything like that. So it's a really, you need to play one at least.
Okay.
The last Subterra I play is Umastrex. He's really good, especially with the interactions of like with Venus and Guru. And sometimes you summon him off Archer, but most of the time you don't. He's a big body and he vanishes, so it's really good against like links that you can't book a moon. But yeah, it's a really good body that you can't really take it out because it's really essential. Next is spells. Is 3 Hidden City, of course. Searches the Guru, Venus, or either Umastrex or Archer, whichever one you need. Most of the time you just get whatever you're missing in your hand. And then it also has another effect where it flips up face down monsters. That's how you interact with Guru. And also, if you control face down monster, you can flip it up and negate an attack. Next is 2 Pot of Duality. I used to play 3, but sometimes doing Pot of Duality and then having another Pot of Duality, hitting another Pot of Duality isn't really good.
Yeah, that hurts.
Yeah. So 2 is fine. Next is 3 Extravagance. You have to play this either for Ash bait, or if they don't have Ash, then you just +2 Pot of Greed, pretty much.
Yeah.
Next is 1 Terraforming. Too bad they hit it, but it doesn't really hurt it as much, but
yeah,
you kind of wish it was that 2.
I think everybody wishes it was that 2.
Yeah. Next is my hand traps. I played 3 Ash, best hand trap. 2 Ogre. It's really great, but the matchups that really suck, like that are hard for Guru. You want to see more than 1, but you don't want to see 3 because it's not really good against like Orcus, Salad, but it's really good against like Striker and True Draco, which are really what you're really looking forward to. Then I played 2 Effect Veilers. I was playing 3, and I was playing 0, but 2 just seems right. You just want to interrupt your opponent as much as you can on their turn, because it's kind of hard to break boards with Subterra, but it's not impossible, especially with a bunch of hand traps. Next is ones I just put in today. I haven't tested out as much, but it really came in clutch. Was 2 Ghost Spells in the main. It protect me against Call by the Grave. When they Call by the Grave my Venus, so I don't have to waste my final battle. to prevent negation. And it also helps, it's really good against the metal right now, like Sky Striker, they reoccur like Ray or the Hercules base. Kagari as well.
And then it negates the activation so it can't stop Ray.
Yeah, it stops Ray in the battle phase, yep. And then also, right now, like Orcus, they special summon from the grave. Thunder Dragon as well. Just almost any deck really right now. And then the last three are Infinite Permanence. Like the second best hand trap next to Ash.
So your hand trap lineup, you're satisfied with?
Yeah, I think it's good right now. It might change like depending on the meta and the new ban list whenever that comes out, but right now it's good. Next is the traps. 3, there can only be 1. What can I say? It's like the best floodgate of the meta right now. Doesn't really work, doesn't hurt Sky Striker much, but you can still lock them down, like if they end on a Shizuku and then or a Hayate and then they try to go into Shizuku, you can do that before. Good against Salad, Cyber Dragon Orcus. A little rough against like Orcus because they can just pop it with Phoenix, but it's still good. You gotta play around it pretty much, but it's the best floodgate.
Yeah.
Next is 1 skill drain because it's at 1. This card is I want to say it didn't really come up today, but in testing and other matches that I've done, not in this regional but in other regionals, it's really good, especially with the next traps that are coming. The negating all effects don't really matter against Subterra because of the final battle. Final battle's 4th effect. It has 4 effects. The first one is to set, 1 is to flip up, the 3rd is to combine the attack and defense, which makes Guru 34, which is the one you're mostly going to do unless you're going to do Uma Strix, which is 47. But yeah, the 4th effect is why it works with skill drain. Even though its effect is negated, the 4th effect says the activated effects of Subterra cards cannot be negated. So once they try to activate, it'll go through because of the way it's worded, pretty much. Next is the Solemn Brigade. It's just 2 strike and 3 judgment. Judgment won me a game by I judgment 3 times. I went to I think 1,000 health or something. And then strike is really good. Strike is just really good, but it's not. Strike isn't good against the cards that or the decks that you're really weak against. So judgment is obviously the best one. So that's the main deck. It's 40 cards. Next is the side. For side, I have for Striker an Imperial Order and 3 heavy. It's just really great. Imperial Order is just not a win against Sky Striker, especially if you have a negate like Fiendus, then they can't really do anything about it. And then Heavy Storm is for back row. If they have like Mystic Mine or I'm playing like any kind of heavy back row, it just helps really well. Next is 2 Lance. It's great. I might bump this up to 3, but I just don't know what to cut right now.
So the space issue.
Yeah, right now it might be a card that I'll show after Lance, but it's because you kind of have a hard matchup against decks that have the Orcus combo engine in it, because then they break your board. And then later on, then they just Orcus combo, which that's why Lance says to stop that. And it kind of works against Thunder Dragon, but you don't really worry about Thunder Dragons. because they're just, you can flip those, so those don't really matter.
Yeah.
Next is the Nibiru.
Rock.
I have it as 3. It's been good and bad. This regional, I didn't Nibiru anyone at all. I might cut this to 2, or I might cut it at fully, but I still like it. It's just sometimes when people know you're going to do Nibiru, they play around it, and it kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But I'm going to keep it in and test it out more, but it might be something more for like, I might take one out for Lance, and then 2 other for more striker true Draco matchup. The best card in the game, 3 Super Poly. Konami, thank you for putting this at 3. It's yeah, it's what breaks boards. They can't respond to it, so it's Super Poly. What more can you say? Then my other 3 are Anchor Tops. This one was really good, but then it's really good, but I didn't see it enough. But the times I saw it, it was just game. So that's the side. And then finally the extra deck, the most important part of the Guru deck, the extra deck. 3 Starving Venom. You want to put it as maximum in case you banish one off Extravagance. Especially games 2 and 3. You don't really care about game 1 because I don't play Super Poly in the main. But yeah, 3 Venom. You must have this. There's no working around that. Mud Dragon. It used to work a lot, but right now there's not very much target, so I might cut this to 1 only. But it's really good, especially sometimes if you're playing the mirror, Subterra mirror. Yeah, you know when those come up, you can use it. You can use Super Poly against your opponent. Yeah, because all of them are same attribute, different types.
Sounds pretty good.
Next is the second best is Predaplant. Really good. It's really good against like the Thunder decks because you can just do a Colossus or a Titan and then do the other one, whichever one you don't have, or whichever one they do have.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just really great, and it has the negate effect. Or you can put a counter and then it negates the activated effects of a monster. Comes up very often, honestly. Next is 3 Chimera for Salad, self-explanatory, and then 1 Deflexar Chimera. I might bump this up to 2, just for I can have more Super Poly targets against Salamangreat because I end up using like Pot of Extravagance. It's a grind game between them, and then I end up using Extravagance more than once. So by bumping this up, it's more likely that Super Poly isn't dead.
Okay.
Next is one that won me one of my games. I faced Orcus. I faced an Orcus Cyber Dragon. It wasn't. I just contact fused and then broke his board. It was very heartbroken for him. Yeah. And one Nether Soul Dragon, it never came up. I probably just had this and I was just too lazy to cut it. I might add another target, like maybe even the Fire Fist one. Because they do. I've done testing and Fire Fist does have like a somewhat good matchup because they plus so much. And then one Hayate. The only reason why Hayate is in there is because I was playing Crackdown a week ago, and I was playing Crackdown, so I would my plan would be crack down their link and then link away their Shizuku, Kagari, and that way raid doesn't trigger. But obviously, I'll change this to like a Phoenix or something. Doesn't really matter. But yeah, that's the whole deck. And
You got any shout-outs?
Shout-outs to my locals in Bartlett, Illinois. Forever After Collectibles, also known as Eternity Gaming. And shout-outs to my friends that came with me and supported me through all this whole tournament. Yeah.
All right. Well, congratulations on your top. And thank you guys.